Hey guys, Matt Dog here with another video. Today we're doing the XYZ event with our 60 card Eldlich deck. But first, did you know that you need 1,000 subscribers before you can start making any money at all on YouTube videos? At least in terms of ad revenue. Subscribe now to help out the channel in a big way. So first what we're going to do is 5 replays with our 60 card Eldlich deck going into the XYZ event. And then I'll do a deck profile, which to be honest is very similar to the one that we run on ranked ladder. And then after that I've been doing really well on the ranked ladder, so I want to show a couple games there as well. First, obviously, we have the Horus engine, which is great in the XYZ event. A lot of rank 8 plays are possible. We're running triple tactics talent in large part because Kashtira is a pretty popular XYZ deck that we'll face, and we're even running into one right now. The Zombie Vampire gets a mill. We don't get any Eldlich cards or transaction rollbacks, unfortunately. Here we don't really have a lot, but a single trap trick is able to end a Kashtira player's entire turn. And it's a good thing too because they have evenly matched. There are a lot of decks that are running evenly matched in this event, so the Diabellstar engine is great. Honestly, I probably should be running Iron Thunder too, but I kind of swapped it out. Anyways, transaction rollback, trap trick, torrential tribute, blow up both these monsters. They already milled 2 copies of Kashtira Birth to the Grave, so in theory they could have the last one in their hand, but I really doubt it. So that just completely ends their turn. But we want to be able to do something on our turn, so grab an Eldlich. We're not going to be able to trigger any monster effects during the main phase, so get rid of Thrust. At this point, I am kind of worried they just have a second evenly matched, but it is what it is. Conquistador is also great in this event. Sometimes you run into Horus decks that try to use the field spell that makes it so you can't use spell cards anymore. This is great against Kashtira Riseheart while it still has less than 3 materials. We're summoning Conquistador just so we can summon Lord of Heavenly Prison to swing for game. Lord of Heavenly Prison is another card that's great in this event because it allows us to make a lot of our rank 10 plays. And guess what? The level 10 trains are back, baby. Alright, let's do duel number 2. Yeah, I had read somewhere online that people were seeing a lot of burn decks, so that was part of the reason why I didn't have Iron Thunder, because if a lot more people are just flipping trap cards to end your life points, paying half your life points isn't something you want to do as often, but I haven't really seen them, so I probably should just throw Iron Thunder back in this deck to deal with some of the annoying floodgates that people have and also all of the evenly matches. At this point, we have a Torrential Tribute and a Paleozoic Marrella, which can send Elemental Burst, blow up everything. That's fine. Here, I had been getting feedback that they had an Ash Blossom for the last couple of plays I made, so I use Eldlixir first to bait out an Ash Blossom. They negate that. Fine, I already have an Eldlich in Grave. I literally don't care. Paleozoic Marrella, send an Elemental Burst, and they don't even make it past that phase. Like, yeah, they had nothing and we had everything. I blew up those 2 level 4s, even though I don't really know what that deck is, just because I don't want them going into their XYZ plays. I'm like, I'm daring you to have another option. Like, I had the Paleozoic Marrella into Elemental Burst play in my back pocket, so I didn't really care. Duel number 3. Oh, good. Horus Engine. You'll love to see it. Yeah, here I'm not sure if it was right. I just wanted to discard Imsety mostly to get a draw 1, but obviously I could have put down King Sarcophagus, discarded Transaction Rollback to send. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's fine though. I'll just hold on to the King Sarcophagus for next turn. At least that's what I want to do. This is an event that also has had a lot of Labrynth decks, interestingly enough. They discard their Compulse, Pot of Prosperity. What are they going to grab? Coup Clock. Interesting. Okay. Now, Ariana, big welcome. Okay. So they can activate big welcome this turn. Pop a card. For some reason, he pops the card in my hand. I'm not sure why he's more afraid of that than like the cards that can actually do something to him right now. Like I'm making it so he can't reset any cards. All right, I promised to Elemental Burst, and I will deliver. Transaction Rollback, Paleozoic Marrella, Elemental Burst, destroy all cards he has. The only card he has in hand is a Coup Clock. um, yeah, he activates the Coup Clock. I think he did that because he thinks it triggers his lab card to come back, but obviously it doesn't. He has the field spell. It does nothing right now on its own. Yeah, and we're just gonna like start swinging into him. It's unfortunate we don't have our link cards because I would have loved to make SP Little Knight there, but we couldn't. All right, duel number 4. We're cruising through these. What has this been like 6 minutes? uh, I don't have a ton of time to record videos this week, and I know a lot of you want to see the XYZ deck that I have. I might make another XYZ video later on, but this is just one to really quickly show some gameplay and then get to a deck profile. All right, we've got Fenrir. There's a really interesting play that I haven't been able to do like in a video yet, but I'll talk about it when we get to the deck profile. So this is really nice because it protects us from evenly matched. Battle phase, evenly matched, negate. What's great about Diabellstar with this package is Diabellstar comes back first, and then instead of taking its fuel to come back as cost, it's as an effect, which means we can chain Paleozoic Marrella to send Transaction Rollback, and then Diabellstar uses the Paleozoic that we just used as fuel to come back. He surrenders. I feel like he might have had a second evenly matched, and the reason he surrendered is because we just sent a rollback so we could copy Sinful Spoil's Betrayal and omni-negate a second evenly matched. So I think that's what was going on. Duel number 5. Yeah, there are some interesting combos that I will go over in the deck profile that haven't really come up yet, but part of that's because I haven't been seeing enough Kashtira. Like, I thought this deck would be Kashtira the event, and I don't know, I guess it's just not as popular anymore. They have Kashtira Birth at 3 now, so you would think. Oh yeah, this is really funny. So the thing about Zoodiacs is they just mostly are Zeus Turbo, so they're gonna go 4 material. Then they XYZ from hand 5 material. Now Zeus has 6 material. We negate the summon, so like if they had a monster reborn, it wouldn't be able to even come back. And goodbye. Cool 6 material Zeus, bro. Yeah, obviously, if I didn't have Solemn Strike, I would have negated them from being able to attack me directly with Betrayal, but whatever. 5,000 damage. We have some interesting level. I think at this point I had the option to make Typhon, but I didn't want to because I preferred just having Eldlich with the Conquistador. They tried to destroy our Eldlich, we just destroy that monster. If we used Sinful Spoils here, she would have grabbed our Conquistador as fuel. So he just quits. We had a trap trick to go into even more plays, probably a Marilla into a rollback, who knows. So as you can see, it's like pretty straightforward. The wins kind of come to you pretty easily, I guess. Deck profile time. So one thing that's different about this deck compared to other decks is we're running this Fenrir package. So first we have Kashtira Fenrir, who is good just going first, going second. You summon him out before you summon anything else. We don't have any other Kashtira cards. It's a one of. First of all, it helps you going second because you can banish your opponent's spellcaster village, which we've run into a few times. I don't think I showed it, but there was a game where a Horus player set up a full Horus board, and then because Imsety is considered a spellcaster, then they got rid of, then they were able to set up a secret village of the spellcasters, which makes it so I can't activate my spell cards. That is a bit of a pain. We do have a decent number of spell cards, but Fenrir is one way to just banish that field spell and then keep doing your own thing. Another thing Fenrir does is if you're going second and your opponent is running Kashtira, they activate Shangri-Ira to summon out another Kashtira monster from their deck. Your main phase, you summon out Fenrir, and then you can summon a Riseheart. So once per turn, if a Shangri-Ira activated its effect, you can just make it with one material. And the thing is, it doesn't matter if it's your Shangri-Ira or not. You can just make it if your opponent did that. The second thing you can do is we're running triple tactics talent. If our opponent is running, Kashtira, we activate any card. A card gets banished. Kashtira Riseheart attaches that card as material. We've made them activate a monster effect. Now our triple tactics talent and our triple tactics thrust are both live. Thrust can search into talent. Talent can grab their monster. They might use a Riseheart to banish itself or banish one of their other cards or whatever. But whatever Kashtira card we grab, we can then use to make a Riseheart ourselves, so it doesn't go back to them on their turn. And if it has like a bunch of material, we can then attack them and make Zeus. That's pretty fun little combination if you're running into a lot of Kashtira. The other thing that I was having a little bit of trouble with was the Spellcaster Village, like I talked about. Conquistador can take it out, Eldlich can take it out. We have triple evenly matched. Not as many decks have any sort of Omni negates. They're doing this event before Yubel gets access to their level 10 XYZ that has an Omni negate on it. So evenly matched is king. And in order to stop evenly matched, we have Sinful, Spoils of Betrayal. Where would I add a couple copies of Iron Thunder? Honestly, I feel like you could drop one Cursed Eldland and one Paleozoic Marrella if you wanted to run a couple copies of Iron Thunder. On the one hand, our opponents don't really have a lot of Omni negates, so it's not necessary. And if there are burn decks, then it's kind of detrimental. But if you're getting hit with evenly just a ridiculous amount, it could be a good option. And I think those are the cards that you might be able to cut, maybe even dropping a thrust, I don't know. Let's go into the extra deck because there's a lot of spicy changes there. Obviously, Typhon we're going to keep. Our opponents are going to make a lot of extra deck monsters. It shuts down Zeus. Solid. Obviously, you need Zeus. Any of your XYZ monsters can make it. We have the return of the level 10 trains. So you can make these with 2 copies of Eldlich or an Eldlich plus a Lord of Heavenly Prison. You don't really need to run any like Yubel cards or other weird cards to make it easier to summon your level 10 monsters. Like, they're just kind of like an added bonus. This allows you to burn your opponent for 2k damage. And this one you can use after you make Gustav Max, and it's basically a way to one turn kill your opponent. You can attack your opponent a whole bunch of times, deal either 4,000 or 6,000 damage when you're doing it, and then afterwards make Zeus if they're somehow still not dead. Alternatively, you can also make this level 10. It's not exactly an Omni negate, but it's a way to interrupt your opponent from, dealing with one of your monsters, for example. It could be interesting, sort of like the equivalent of an Omni negate. Finally, the budget version for level 10 is obviously Sky Palace. You basically destroy any one card your opponent controls and burn them for 1,000. If you're on a budget deck, this is a great option. Additionally, our rank 8 plays, so we have both of our standard going second cards, Garunix to destroy all our opponent's monsters and one spell or trap, and Dengirsu to protect our cards from being destroyed and to send one problematic card of our opponents to the graveyard. Going first, we have the Zombie Vampire to mill a bunch of cards, hopefully getting Elemental Burst and a rollback, but obviously even just some Eldlich cards is fine. or Sky Prison, which is great in this event because your opponent runs Horus all the time, and this is a great way to just shut Horus down. Because we have a little bit of extra deck space, I also threw in a Hope Harbinger. Alternatively, you could also throw in the rank 8 with the monster negate. I can't remember what it is. Why don't I just quickly look it up, actually. Where is it? There, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. So you could run that, or you could run this, whatever. You could also run like a Cypher Dragon as a budget option to just steal an opponent's monster. You could run Lancelot to make making Zeus really easy. Because when your opponent activates when anyone activates an effect, but you would wait until your opponent does something, then you can negate it. Well, you have to negate it. It can also attack your opponent directly, so it's just a way to make Zeus really easily. There's a lot of rank 8 options, but this is kind of the flex spot in my opinion. Also, we talked about the Kashtira play, which I think is really fun, and this is a great event to do it because you're going to run into Kashtira a lot more than you otherwise would. Additionally, we have one other rank 7. You can make it with any 2 level 7 monsters, so a Kashtira and Diabell, or maybe 2 Diabells, or a Diabell and a level 7 that you stole from your opponent, whatever. It can destroy 2 cards your opponent controls, so that's solid. You could also make a Rise Heart with 3 level 7 monsters if you somehow have Fenrir and both of these, but I doubt you'll do that. For our level 5 monster, we have Volcasaurus. We can target a monster our opponent controls, destroy it, and inflict burn damage. So that's a solid option. We run that instead of Chaos Angel with 2 Golden Land cards. And we're even running Sky Cavalry Centuria as a rank 2 monster, because in this version we have multiple level 2 Marrellas. So it's possible that you run grass, and then you activate 2 trap cards like a Karma Cannon and a Skill Drain or something to summon out the Marrellas. And then on your turn, you can make Sky Cavalry, detach a material, return your opponent's card to the hand, and you can also attack directly, or, well, not directly, but you can attack your opponent's monster. You don't take any battle damage. Well, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Oh my gosh, you could tell I haven't ever made this card. But anyways, it's a way to make Zeus, basically. There's one other rank 2 option that's pretty good. Where is it? It's like, here we go. You could also make Soul Sweeper, which is just a level 2 removal card. Target opponent's monster, banish it until the end phase. It's just another option you have. As you saw from the duels, we don't go into the XYZ, into the extra deck in general very often, which is part of why the pot cards are so great. But basically, this deck is totally free. It's very similar to the types of decks that we were running before. Yeah, now that we have had a chance to look at that, I'm going to reward you with a few extra duels. So on the ranked ladder, I'm running this version of the deck, which I can quickly show off. We've got 1 extra tantalizing tune. I'm experimenting with adding talents. We have a couple copies of Iron Thunder here. In the other deck, the difference is we had like a Fenrir and whatever, like a 3rd evenly matched instead. But this deck has been playing pretty successfully so far. Chaos Angel, all of the fun link plays that you know and love, only 2 Torrential Tributes. So that's what I'm doing so far, and, we have a 7-game win streak, so I'm just going to show off a couple of duels of that too, because it might be a while before I get another chance to show off some videos. First, we've got against a Tearlement deck. Ooh. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you want to have another XYZ deck, maybe like a budget version or something. It probably wouldn't come out until, much later, but, just let me know what you think. Diabellstar, obviously. Yeah, I think Diabellstar has a ton of great synergies with this version of Eldlich. There, I don't know. I feel like I probably could have negated card destruction. My issue is that they have King Sarcophagus, and I do really want to negate it, because if I negate this, then not only do they lose the ability to summon any Horus monsters from the grave, because it's no longer called King Sark, but also if I don't negate it, they can add an Imsety, discard an Imsety to add a King Sark, and they go into a full Horus play, and I can't really deal with that. So it feels like they're kind of baiting me or something. I don't want to deal with it. But they possibly could have gotten a lot of advantage there. Luckily, they don't really. We do negate it, and we drew a card that we get a little bit of value off of Ascending the Grave with Diabellstar. So, whatever, we got some follow up. This person's getting so unlucky. So they have well, I guess you will see in a second, but they have a malicious and a rainbow bridge. So in theory, this could help them plus a ton by grabbing a crystal beast and a field spell from the deck, and by grabbing a second malicious from the deck. But as you see, they had one of their other maliciouses in hand, so these both do nothing. They fuse. All right, Mud Dragon tries to start making Tearlement plays. Absolutely not. Just banished from the graveyard. Goodbye. And did you see that? The other card he had was his Crystal Beast. So they also only run one Crystal Beast. So this could have grabbed them their Tearlement field spell and gone full combo, but they drew their Crystal Beast. What a terrible... This must have been like one of the worst, because this should, card destruction should plus a billion, right? It sends 4 cards from their hand to the grave, and then they draw 4 cards. Like if all 4 of those cards get value by getting sent to the grave, and then they draw more cards, like this should be awesome, but it was just the worst. Anyways, they banish our wanted, so no draw 1 for us. We're going to pop SP Little Knight, obviously. Eldlich, summon out. Yeah, is he even going to wait around until the next turn? I don't think so. Now we can make an SP Little Knight if we want to. Yeah, and he's just going to surrender. I'm not even sure there was anything I really wanted to banish. I might banish the field spell just cuz, but probably not. I'd banish something in their graveyard. All right. Duel number 2 in the ranked ladder. Fire Kings. Okay. I hope this last one isn't the Fire King that I showed off in my last video. Probably isn't. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting better dealing with Fire Kings. It's just about like knowing the right places to hit. That's one thing about this deck, is it really rewards critical thinking and being able to choose the right places. Because there are some decks, like obviously like Fire Kings, where it's like the combo is pretty linear usually, and you just get so many resources. You don't really need to critically think as much in order to get really high ranking. You just kind of like, oh, I'm just doing my combo and they can't stop me. Oh, they stopped me? Well, I'm just going to keep going. Whereas for us, we have like Karma Cannon. You have to Karma Cannon at exactly the right spot or you're in big trouble. We don't run Floodgates. We don't just monkey flip, you know, Rivalry, one of our 3 copies of Skill Drain. Okay. So even though they're technically a Fire King Snake Eye deck, it looks like they were just random Snake Eye. They negate the wanted, which I'm totally fine with. I'd rather Pot of Extrav resolve. Get a draw 2. Okay. SP. He makes a 3 material Appaloosa. Okay. And he gets to get even more follow-up. Yep. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right, so there's the Fire King aspect of their engine. And Poplar. So now they have like removal. They can protect themselves from us attacking them. So we're going to send both of our Eldlich cards to the grave, which means they both get value, which is a big part of the reason why we even run Horus with Eldlich, right? Is because we get value off of those discards. There, I don't know what they were thinking. They use Linkuriboh to reduce us to 0, but King Sarcophagus just allows us to send to grave, so we don't really care. So basically we got rid of 2 bodies when we could have only gotten rid of 1. We get rid of... Yeah, we get rid of the Hapi. We... Look at this. I mean, we have a full board against their full Snake Eye deck. Like, they can't even use the Subversion spell to lock us in the back row. So we have the Omni Negate, we have a Karma Cannon, and we have a Pop. I do wish we had room to set Solemn Strike, but whatever. So we're definitely going to try to destroy that spell card, because they just get too much advantage. They make the Dark Charmer. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, I don't care. Okay, so here what I should have done is I should have Karma Cannoned Chainlink 1, and then done the stuff that I'll do. So first we're gonna pop the Fire King Sanctuary. We're gonna flip everything face down because he has an Imsety, which is gonna punish me for destroying one of his cards. And then because Karma Cannon would turn off Betrayal, we're just gonna negate the field spell. Just, you know, we need to negate something and we're dealing with all their monsters. If I had used Karma Cannon Chainlink 1, though, instead of Chainlink 3, then I would have also reset my Conquistador, and my Eldlich would be face down, so they can't even lock my Eldlich in the back row with Sinful Spoils of Betrayal. So like I'm saying, like even the smallest slip-ups, we go from having our Eldlich locked in the back row and a reset Conquistador to, you know, the other way around. Negated. Yep. Can't make misplays. Whatever. I mean, we still have a ton of follow-up. We have our full Horus engine, for example. Your field spell's negated forever. That never goes away. Get a draw 1. Unfortunately, they're not activating any monster effects, so just summon our cards. We can destroy this card. We send this to grave because it has an effect if it's destroyed, and we get our you know, our Imsety back. We make an SP to banish this one face down. It's an imperm. Honestly, I probably should have bounced, not because I like care about SP being negated, but because it's really annoying that SP's arrows are both side to side. So later on, I want to make some link plays, but you know, I would have to give up both link material of SP when I might want to do some other link combination. So yeah, I probably should have dodged out of the way just on principle to make it so that I can use my extra monster zone again. He has nothing. Banish the Promethean Princess. Your field spell's still negated, buddy. It's not like Called by the Grave where it's every other turn, or for 2 turns rather, it's forever. Imsety, no, stop. He's like, well, maybe I can summon from his field. Did you see that? He tries to summon my Eldlich. Well, I can't summon my monsters. Maybe we can still, no, it's just negated. That's how that works. And we just have enough attack points to kill him. Yeah, going second versus Fire Kings. Obviously, they didn't get the Fire King aspect of their engine going, but we played around it mostly well. Last duel versus Rescue Ace Snake Eyes. If we go where I go, I see Snake Eyes. Yeah, I'm glad that my version of the deck isn't running like Poplar and Ash and stuff. Like, I mean, first of all, it's because we wouldn't probably get enough advantage off of it to actually do very much, but, you know, it's also just because it's nice to have the novelty, you know? Looks like we got Grass Looks Greener. In this video, it seems like I haven't really resolved Thrust into Grass a lot in the videos. Obviously, we really didn't need to, but we have tons of ways to access it. Lord of Heavenly Prison, Grass Looks Greener, everything. Okay, they make an SP Little Knight. Yep. I mean, I think you know how this is going to resolve, right? I am kind of tempted to drop both copies of Iron Thunder and one of the, maybe like one other card somewhere and just run triple Gamma just to make sure my spell cards get through. When I tested it before, it didn't feel like it was necessary. All right, draw 1 just because. Oh yeah, and then in this version I'm running Trap Tantalizing Tune. The theory being we just want to have as many ways to draw as possible. So yeah, I guess you could drop Trap Tantalizing Tune in both copies of Iron Thunder in order to run Gamma, but I like this version. Battle everything face down. Yeah, it's like, you know, you get to save your one card, but look at my hand. Solemn Strike, Paleozoic Marrella to send to like a Karma can or whatever I need. I already milled everything. Yeah, they're just absolutely done. GG. Well, I hope you had fun. You got to see the deck profile for the XYZ event. You got a little preview of what I'm working on to get to Master 1. And just as another reminder, I'm about 100 subscribers away from making any money at all on this channel. So if you want to help out in a massive way, hit that red subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.